Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the entire crypto industry. So let's just dive in, and let's start off with this tweet here from Elon Musk. And we do see, if the Fed raises rates again next week, the recession will be greatly amplified. One of the biggest things that we have been watching for around this entire market is what the Fed's next major move will be. In my video from yesterday, I talked to you guys about the FOMC meeting. This is one of the most important ones because the last one that we had in November didn't include any of the economic projections like September did. And this is going to be a big one. December 13th to the 14th. Next week is going to be a big time in this market. One of the biggest things that I have been addressing is the overall market cap of altcoins, as well as the entire crypto industry and Bitcoin. I know that a lot of people don't like me talking about Bitcoin. Well, guess what? Too bad, because Bitcoin does move most of the market, especially as it does have a ton of dominance over the market. But as we look at the total two, which is altcoins excluding Bitcoin, one of the most interesting things that I have looked at is where we are at on the chart. So I have this red line going all the way across, and remember, candle bodies are more important than candlesticks. And these are the two major resistance zones from 2018. This is where a lot of the market topped out on before we went into the bear market of 2018. And you can see this is at around roughly $424 billion. Now, obviously, yeah, you could bring this up a little bit to make it, play into your perspective on where we've bottomed out on. In my opinion, I think that this is a strong level to watch for on the entire total two, because even when we look at the 3-day chart, so the 3-day chart is a little bit interesting because here, there's not a lot of candle bodies, right? It's all candlesticks. And where this lies is on roughly, let me go back down to the candle body here, about $400 billion. It's about like $403 billion. Now, a lot of people are saying, the bottom's not in, and that's totally fine. In fact, I believe that we could see a little bit lower within the altcoin market. And this would be about roughly a 16.46% drop on the altcoin market. From the topping point down to this area, this would be about a 76.47% correction, going all the way back to 2018 when we topped out, and going all the way to the bottom. It was basically around like March, honestly, where we seen the full bottom, but this is about like 92.25%, which a lot of people are expecting us to repeat that same exact percentage. We don't necessarily need to. I've shared my thoughts on this many times when we look at other charts within this market. We're not going to see the exact same percentage every single time. If we did, though, just to give you guys a quick reference, so 92.25% from the top up there would bring us down to roughly $132.5 billion, which is why I say, like, this is, in my opinion, illogical to really kind of look at and say, okay, yeah, this is 100% going to happen. In my opinion, I don't believe that this will happen. Could it happen? It's possible. Anything is possible in this game, but I would be more so looking at around like $403 billion as the area that I feel very confident enough where altcoins are essentially near its bottom point or at its bottom point. Now, very similar to the entire crypto market. So one thing that I have been addressing, again, candle bodies mean more than candlesticks. This is sitting at about $696.5 billion. If we did get down to that point from our current level, this would be roughly a 14% drop. From the topping point up here to the bottoming point, this would be roughly a 76.9% drop. Going again back to the topping point of 2018, just to give you guys a quick reference, this would be about an 88.14% drop. Again, if we repeat that, which is this is also why a lot of people believe that we're going to go much, much lower on Bitcoin and altcoins. An 88% drop would put us right around $356 billion for the entire crypto industry. There is some demand here, but I wouldn't say that this is like a huge area. Honestly, I would say that the better area would be about $320 billion. But is this possible? Again, anything is possible, but I just feel confident that this will most likely be our bottoming point. Could I be wrong? 100%. The biggest telltale sign is what the Federal Reserve does next. The Fed is going to be the big, key point to watch, right? Everything happening that week of December, next week, is going to play a vital role in what happens next around crypto. Bitcoin, I've seen a lot of people calling for some crazy predictions on Bitcoin. I've seen the 5K calls, the 8K calls, the 10K calls, etc., etc. When we look at Bitcoin, again, going off of the percentage-wise, right now, currently, Bitcoin has reached a 77.6% pullback. When we go back to 2018, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a sort of insight on what happened back there, 80, almost 5%, 84. So if we do come back down to test like 84%, I've always said that this area down here is very interesting at about like 10.8K. There is quite a bit of demand down here, even going all the way back to like 2017. But most of it is from like September of 2020 anyways. So this is very interesting. Do I believe that Bitcoin has to go that low? No, not necessarily. I think that it could be a fake out, very similar to what we've seen over here in March, where we did see this pullback from, it was like a little bit of a high in June of 2019, and then it was like a 72.07% pullback. A lot of people believe that there's going to be a wave 5 blow off top. Is that going to happen? We have no idea. Again, nobody knows what's going to happen next. Anybody that is telling you that they know exactly what's going to happen next is lying to you. When we look at the charts here, though, we are already down about 77.56%. This is about a 72% pullback. This was about an 85% pullback. Almost, it's like 84 more so. But still, very interesting areas of focus, and I even do have this pullback back here. It was a little bit slightly deeper. It was like 87.16%. This was about 84%. It's like a difference of 3% or so. So maybe it's like 81%, right? Maybe it's like around this area at around like 13K. That would be perfect in my opinion as well. I'm still positioned to ape in if we do go any lower. But I did say over on Twitter, there is a ton of distractions happening around this market. One, I said, as everyone is sitting around digesting every second of the SBF news day in and day out, they are missing the following. Mainstream media bearing crypto. 2, mainstream media fear-mongering retail into selling everything. 3, FOMC meeting days away plus economic updates. Starbucks/PayPal expanding Web3 initiatives. BlackRock bullish on DLT, says bond markets are being disrupted. This is just a few things. In my opinion, there is a ton of distractions around this market with good news/bullish attention being swept under the rug. Focus up. And yeah, I think that we should be focused up on the true facts around what is happening within crypto. Again, yesterday I made a video and I was talking about a few things around what was happening within the mainstream media, and it was more so centered on CNBC. And we do see from Kevin Cage, CNBC calls for 5K Bitcoin, Kramer hates on XRP, Bank of America calls for 2023 recession, send it. And yeah, this is the big focus point, what the media is telling us, because this video is about 1 minute and 22 seconds long. Shout out to RizXRP for posting this. Listen closely to what is being said in this video.
This is how the rich get richer.
Yes.
They know, they're connected. A lot of times they're coordinating.
Yes.
Without the insider trading. This is not illegal to do.
No, manipulating the news cycle, if you're smart about it, is they can get away with it. Nobody's ever been arrested for anything like this.
So now, with crypto, I know personally, people that would have gotten in or stayed in if these people weren't saying what they're saying.
Right, and so this has really been extremely egregious. So on September 12th, Jamie Dimon says Bitcoin is a fraud. He says he'll fire any one of his traders buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin drops 24%. When Jamie Dimon speaks,
people listen.
People listen. So that weekend, we found out that the largest buyer of a Bitcoin fund that's in Europe that buys physical Bitcoin, right? The largest buyer was Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan. And that's not illegal.
He says it's a fraud.
It says he'd fire anyone that buys it. Yes.
And at the same time, his company is buying it.
His company is buying it.
So it's just, I mean, so unethical.
Right.
Okay.
And I want you all to understand that this is what's happening right now. They are telling you, get out, get out. Crypto is this, crypto is that, while they are buying it up. Now, also, everyone is saying, recession, 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 2008, everything's collapsing, everything's collapsing. I want you guys to take a step back to March of 2020. Well, I should say the 2020 timeframe. Here's May 6th, 2020. Europe is facing its worst recession ever. Watch out. EU, set for record recession, putting euro at risk. May 7th. Jerome Powell, we may well be in a recession. Again, May 26 or March 26, 2020. We have another one. Coronavirus pushes German economy into recession. May 15th. Over here, why the looming recession doesn't mean you should sell out of the stock market. It got posted, I believe this was on March as well. I don't know what the exact date is, but it's over 2 years ago now. We know everything that happened after the fact. So I wish I had a date on this one, but it's just from 2 years ago. They're not telling me the exact date, but this is from Forbes. Then over here, the New York Times. This market's plunge as a global recession appears almost inevitable. This article is from March 16th, 2020, and it got updated on April 1st, 2020. Very interesting. Then over here, March 23rd, 2020, from the International Monetary Fund. The Great Lockdown, worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. Then now, here we have updated, December 9th, Crypto.com CEO has a history of red flags, including bankruptcy and quick exits. Then over here, JP Morgan CEO, crypto is like pet rocks. Then from Forbes, crypto hitting mother of all economic crises threatens North Korea. Very interesting. And there is so much more bearish news that I've been reporting on around the mainstream media. And the reason why I report on it is not to scare you. No, it's to tell you to focus up. Focus on the bigger picture. They want us out so that they can accumulate as much as possible. In yesterday's video, I talked to you guys about how the institutional machine is running. They are trying to get as much retail out of this market as possible so that they could buy up all the cheap tokens. I think it was, I believe that it was Sir Rob Art. Yeah. Here we go. So the institutional machine doing its job, making sure retail don't buy in the macro accumulation phase so institutions can dump on them when it's time to sell. Retail has been buying institutional bags for decades now. This is the big thing to focus on because they want us out. They want us to, be buying the top like most retail does. And it's crazy. It truly is crazy that no one is seeing the bigger picture here. The bigger picture is the fact that, yes, there's a lot of warning signs. Next week is a big focus area. But I also want you to understand that as things stand right now, this is a huge macro accumulation area, in my opinion. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Wherever you guys are on this beautiful world, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.